know, this goes back to how important it is for us to really know and understand what his true philosophy and theories were, what his stance was as a democratic socialist,
Right.
so that in community we could come together in that and, push that forward, not just on January 15th, I have a dream. And then the rest of the year, it's a dream
Right.
deferred. And we know what happens to that. So, um,
Absolutely.
yeah, but
So,
something else that you had said about black and white, and he had mentioned it it's in his speech about the three evils of society. We have where he says, and I mean, I'm not going to read the whole thing, but he says, the fact is that capitalism was built on the exploitation and suffering of black slaves and continues to thrive on the exploitation of the poor, both black and white, both here and abroad. So he wasn't just talking. So this is where Poor People's Campaign comes in. There's, we see that shift. And, I'm talking about how maybe in his maturity, in his moving through, okay, I'm fighting for this in this way, but I see how it's going. So now maybe I need to shift and really look at, maybe now he's discovered that it's about the racism, the capitalism, so yeah, a lot to unpack, but we're seeing how from the Pan-African movement, and even in this journal is the Journal of Religious Ethics. And a lot of his work came through the Southern Christian Leadership Conference, right? So it's just interesting to me that from the religious aspect of who Dr. Martin Luther King was, from the Pan-African aspect of who Dr. Martin Luther King was, they're saying the same thing. He was very progressive in his ideas, and we've chosen to just take the two or three that America can, that the US can
yeah.
handle.
Yeah,
And
that
really
makes the mainstream society feel warm and fuzzy and
right,
nice and
like, oh
comfortable.
yeah, he was a great guy and we're
Yeah.
honoring him.
Matter of
No,
fact,
you're honoring the
speaking of
part
that,
that makes you feel comfortable.
speaking of that, that book, The Radical King, Dr. Cornel West is one of the people that put it together, was part of that project. And in that book, he describes what we just talked about right now, as far as feeling warm and fuzzy and comfortable. He describes that as the Santa Clausification of Martin Luther King's legacy. Right?
Yikes.
Yeah, I was like, wow, like Cornel
Yeah.
West is deep.